I ask you to welcome Malalai Joya.
I said that I'm really speechless on behalf of my people. I'm shocked, of course, to thank you all for all of your solidarity and support, which means a lot for us. And I want to thank our dear friend Gila for her wonderful song and amazing song, which was full of strength and hope. And also, I want to say from this opportunity, if the US people, they have a woman girl like Obama, a criminal like Bush, but you should be so honored that you have, we are so honored that we have strong supporters like you, like Professor Noam Chomsky. We have like, we have support of like Mattis, soldier, brave soldier who refused to go to Afghanistan and Iraq, don't want to be war criminal, and many Chomskys and Mattis like you. So we love you all. It means that your support gives us more hope, more courage, determination. In the meantime, you are giving helping hand to pro-democracy and anti-fundamentalist movement of our country. And I would like to thank our friends and supporters of Women's International League for Peace and Freedom, who invited me here on behalf of suffered, poor, voiceless people of my country to share their sorrows, their miseries with you, and also to talk about the ongoing disaster in my current country, about the realities of the so-called war on terror by US and NATO, and also brutalities of these Islamic fundamentalists. As our friend earlier mentioned about denying of the visa, before to talk about the catastrophic situation of my country, let me say a few sentences about denying of the visa. This time, as the US government, this was their planning to block my voice, and same few years ago, US puppet regime, I mean Hamid Karzai's regime, imposed ban on my travel abroad. And the reason that this time they refused to give visa, I believe it was political reason, because each time when I attended conferences on behalf of my people, not only in the past when I come in the US, justice-loving supporters, peace-loving supporters, anti-war organizations, they invited me. And also in other countries, when I exposed the wrong policies of these warmongers, wrong politicians. I informed great people of these countries about wrongdoing of their wrong politician in their name. I informed them about the billions of dollars of taxpayer monies that their government sent to this corrupt puppet mafia regime of Hamid Karzai. And most of this money goes into the pocket of these warlords, drug lords, even indirectly to the pocket of the Taliban. I think these are something that the warmongers in White House, they can't bear, as they try to use their huge propaganda machine, the corporate media, to hide these better realities from your eyes. As I said earlier, and again I want to say, if the Western governments, they are bombing and killing innocent civilians, people of our country, we are so honored and happy that great people of these countries, they stand in solidarity with us and raise their voice against the wrong politician of their government. And they put pressure on their government, and also not only justice-loving people, friends, supporters of the US, and also democratic-minded politicians. Because they had mask of democracy, that's why they allowed me. Otherwise, these beautiful banners of women's rights, human rights, that under these banners they occupied my country, their occupation will be more exposed and open secret for the people around the world. Therefore, I want to announce from your tribune, from your microphone, once again, on behalf of my people, that they never can block my voice, and they never can stop me from spreading my message around the world against occupation, for democracy and peace. Thank you. As I said earlier, that 10 years ago, US and NATO invaded my country, And still, they are playing with the destiny of my people, especially the situation of the women day by day goes from worse to worse. They pushed us from the frying pan into the fire. They replaced terrorist Taliban with the fundamentalist warlords who are mentally sane but only physically has been changed. That's why the situation day by day getting more disaster. And while there are many media hypes in the West that about improving women's condition, they are talking to you, but in the meantime, let me tell you, in many provinces of Afghanistan, women of my country, even they do not have human life. Killing of women that much easy for the warlords in Taliban like killing a bird. Rapes, domestic violences, acid attacks, burning the girls' schools, poison the girls' schools, and many other crimes against women, increasing rapidly, even historical. US and NATO, even they misuse from the miseries of the women of my country. Maybe you hear the report of the Time magazine that the headline says, what happens to the women of Afghanistan and if we leave? When they broadcast the tragic story of Bibi Aisha. But I want to tell you on behalf of my people, it was better if they wrote what's happening to the women of Afghanistan while we are there. They never bring those women who get disfigured by cluster bomb white phosphorus during these 10 years of occupation for treatment to the Western countries, because their crimes get exposed to you. Bibi Aisha was not the first. Unfortunately, she will not be the last one, because the warlords in power, especially now negotiating with the Taliban as well. Everywhere when I go, great people around the world, they ask me how we can help Afghan women. Always I respond, first of all, war will never help Afghan women. Secondly, if we have the opportunity, Afghan women, they can liberate themselves. And I'm sure progressive Afghan men will stand in solidarity with us and support. So as long as these warlords in power and also these terrorist Taliban as well, there is no hope to come positive changes soon in the life of the men and women of my country. Now, both of them, they do not have liberation at all. Millions of Afghans, by presence of tens of thousands of troops, they suffer from injustice, insecurity, corruption, joblessness, poverty, and many other miseries. During these almost 10 years of occupation, tens of thousands of innocent civilians has been killed. Most of them women, children, and men. Maybe you heard the report of the Spiegel magazine, the heartbreaking photos which broadcast in the media as well. And not only brutally they kill Afghan people, even make fun with their dead bodies. And now, because they want to put dust in the eyes of the justice-loving people around the world, they are trying to bring these few soldiers to the court, which is priceless, I believe. They should have brought this Minister of the War, Robert Gates, and General David Petraeus to the court. But Obama's administration should be questioned for his wrong foreign policy. And these photos are new, but the murders are not new for my people. Last year in Farah province, in my own province, they did bomb. In one day, 150 civilians has been killed, even with white phosphorus. Most of them women and children. Later I will show you as a tip of the iceberg some pictures, heartbreaking, heart-wrenching pictures. Recently in Kunar province, 65 civilians has been killed. In another village in the same province, 9 children has been killed. They kill brutally these innocent people, then shamelessly decrease the number of civilians and call them insurgents, terrorists through their mouthpiece, these mainstream media mainly. When Obama took office, unfortunately, his first news for my people was more conflict, more war. the outcome of the result of the surge of troops was more massacres, more tragedies, more pain and sorrows for my people. As a tip of the iceberg, only a few examples of their massacres, I told you. Even his foreign policy is more dangerous than Bush. He invited this terrorist Taliban, Mullah Omar, and also Gulbuddin Hekmatyar, who his name is in the blacklist of the US and UN, to join this puppet mafia, misogynist corrupt regime. There is official report that civilian death tolls 24% increased when you compare with the Bush administration. And you are looking at he's expanding war in Afghanistan, in Iraq, in Pakistan, in Yemen, and now start this brutal war in Libya as well. I hope justice-loving people of the US around the world, they should raise their voice against this warmongers of the It seems that the shedding blood of innocent people, countless innocent people in Iraq and Afghanistan was not enough. That now, under the umbrella of the UN, they start this brutal war there in Libya as well. Which is clear they want to invade Libya because of riches of Libya, oil of the Arabia. While Obama's administration raised hue and cry against Gaddafi regime and his crime, but in the meantime support much more dirtier Gaddafi's regimes, criminal regimes in Iraq, in Afghanistan, in Pakistan, in Saudi Arabia, in Israel, and many other countries. The document released by WikiLeaks exposed the treachery policy of the US government and proved that I have been saying, my people have been saying, democratic-minded activists, few parties that we have, they were saying about this brutal war and expose these wrong policies of these wrong politicians. But who listened our voice? And when you see during this 10 years of occupation, Afghanistan is ranked 181st out of 182 countries in the Human Development Index. According to the Mines Minister, Afghanistan is sitting on around 3 trillion of mineral deposits, but because it's the second most corrupt country in the world, which is clear the income of these mines would not benefit poor Afghan people. It will fill the pockets of these government officials, these warlords, drug lords, their foreign masters with dollars, and that is it. Let me give you one example that WikiLeaks exposed again about the vice president of Karzai. His name is Zia Massoud. With suit and tie, he's in power. He stole $52 million carried from Kabul airport to the Dubai, and nobody stopped him to ask him how you got this money and where do you want to carry it. It's only one example as a tip of the iceberg, I told you. $30 billion Karzai's regime received during this almost 10 years of occupation. But during this 10 years, even media can report 2 mothers of my country in Herat and Ghor province, they are ready to sell their babies for only $10. Can you believe? Never give these reports to you, because cannot tolerate the empty stomach of their children. And now, there's another report that maybe you heard Afghanistan produced 93% of the opium. Even New York Times gave report, brother of Hamid Karzai, Ahmad Wali Karzai, is a famous drug trafficker. My people call him Small Bush in Kandahar province. Since 2001, 4,400% opium increased. And now US and NATO, they try to fool not only Afghan people, their own people too, telling you we will leave Afghanistan by mid of 2011 or 2012. But from another hand, Karzai's puppet regime is talking about permanent military bases in Afghanistan. Which is clear they will not leave my country soon. They are there for their own strategic regional economic interest. We are so proud we are in the heart of the Asia, but sometimes we think maybe it's our sin why we are in the heart of the Asia. Because when Afghanistan to be under their control, as day by day they are expanding their military bases, they are very easily they can control China, Iran, Russia, etc. Then very easily they have access to the gas and oil of the Central Asian republics. That's why they keep the situation lawless and safe, to have good excuse to justify their illegal occupation, especially condition of this suffer woman of my country. And nowadays, maybe you also hear through media that they have planned for handing over the responsibility to the Afghan National Army and Police, which I believe it's like just a trick to use Afghans as cannon fodders to decrease the number of their own soldier casualties. The head of Afghan National Army is powerful warlords. In the past we had volunteer army, but now my people call it dollar army. They do not let Afghanistan stand on its own feet. And I totally agree with Professor Noam Chomsky, what he says about Baghdad embassy in Iraq, the huge city within a city. It suits Kabul embassy, I mean US embassy in Kabul, which expanded every day. And no one can believe that a superpower with massive military machine, really they are unable to defeat Taliban. Who created Taliban? Who destroyed domination of the Taliban? And who is still playing the game of Tom and Jerry with these towers? Again, US government, CIA, ISI, through Pakistan government, indirectly they support Taliban. It's not new news for Afghan people that they invite terrorists Mullah Omar and Gulbuddin Hekmatyar to join the government. That's why we believe they waste their taxpayer money, this 10 years in the blood of their soldier. These soldiers who get killed in Afghanistan, who commit suicide, who there are many other miseries among them. They are not children of Barack Obama or Bush or Dick Cheney or Robert Gates or Bill Clinton. They have their own parents. And that's why, on behalf of my people, I pass condolence to them. But condolence is not enough. They should change their sorrows, their grief, to their strength and raise their voice more strongly against the warmongers, war criminal of their governments. I think justice-loving people of the US agree with my people that democracy never comes by military invasion, by war, by cluster bomb, by white phosphorus, by bombing our wedding parties, what they did in Nangarhar and Nuristan. We wished it was not military invasion, it was invasion of schools, clinic, hospital, literacy courses, internet, etc. that we need. No question we need helping hand, but it never means we want occupation. Right now there is two kinds of resistance among my people. One is the reactionary resistance of these dark-minded terrorist Taliban, which always mainstream media, especially, their government, Western governments, they are trying to make a mountain out of a molehill. But another is resistance of ordinary Afghan people, students of the university, few democratic-minded parties that we have, which is source of hopes give us, for the bright future of Afghanistan is a big hope. Let me give you one example. One student of the university from Farah, 19 members of his family in one day in Balabluk district has been killed. You can see on my webpage this suffer young boy. When the student of the university, they hear this story, they come on the streets and they raise their voice strongly against these war criminals. But who listened their voice? After all of these war crimes, White House says thank you. Apologize. Karzai's puppet regime says thank you. That is it. While we fed up from this listening of thank you and apologize, we want the end of this so-called war on terror, which is war on innocent civilians, as soon as possible. You know, when they kill the innocent people of my country, for each dead bodies they are paying $2,000. Usually my people reject this bloody dollar. For this warmonger, blood of Afghan people is equal to $2,000. When another democratic-minded party, Afghanistan Solidarity Party, when they announced that to make their military bases, they organized demonstration in Farah province, in Kabul, in Mazar Sharif, in Jalalabad, in Herat province. And they invited me as well to join their demonstration. Unfortunately, for security reasons, I couldn't go. Hundreds of people joined their demonstration, but never gave these reports to you, and many other examples like this. And that's why I believe that the only solution to Afghanistan is the troops should withdraw, because their presence is making our fight for justice much harder. And by empowering these reactionary terrorists, dark-minded forces that are great obstacles for true democratic-minded elements, few parties we have, and innocent people of my country. My people is crushed between three powerful enemies: warlords, occupation forces, Taliban. With the withdrawal of occupation forces, my people will fight two internal enemies instead of three. At least the backbone of these terrorists will break. They will not be more powerful to eliminate easier more our people. And history bears that only the nation can liberate themselves. So I have a lot to share with you. At the end, let me say on behalf of my people, when we want the withdrawal of the troops, when we want the end of this occupation, for this struggle that to fight against these two internal enemies, that these 10 years they become powerful, is not easy. We need the solidarity and support of justice-loving, peace-loving people around the world, organizations, intellectuals, parties, democratic-minded politicians. They are the ones who should join their hands with us, especially educationally support my people, because I strongly believe education is a key toward emancipation. Let me conclude tonight's event with a quote of this extraordinary man who I'm sure inspired millions around the world, dear Martin Luther King. He says, "Our lives begin to end the day we become silent. Freedom is never voluntarily given by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed." Heartfelt thanks once again for your support. Thank you very much.
We're just trying to figure out the order.
Yeah, if you are not tired here, I have a little more like a speech, but not a speech. I'll show you some of these pictures as a proof. If you want later Q&A.
Yeah, I think what we're going to do is show the PowerPoint and then just have a brief break for a minute and then do the Q&A. And if you haven't gotten an index card, when people are going around, they'll also have index cards and you can get them and then pass